Good morning and welcome to Modern Era Dispatch. I am Icy Gumere.
And I am Paul Alvin Hoxon. Time check, it's already 10:30 a.m. It is Wednesday here in the Philippines.
Well, we've been the anchor of this show since it started and we've been done a great job.
For the breaking news, Super Beans offers hope for hunger crisis in Africa with a spotlight in Uganda.
In a promising development, the introduction of Super Beans takes center stage as a potential game changer in the fight against hunger in Africa. With a special focus on Uganda, this headline highlights a positive stride forward in the ongoing efforts to address and bolster food security in the region. Paul, could you give us some details about the discovery of super beans that can solve hunger in the country, in the continent, and in the global at large?
Well, the idea of Super Beans hold promise in the battle against global hunger. It is essential to recognize that solving this complex issue demands a comprehensive approach that factors in the socio-economic considerations. While these beans can certainly be part of the solution, we must recognize challenges like distribution hurdles, ensuring access for all, and catering to the diverse dietary needs of the community. It is not just about the beans, but about the thoughtful strategy covering all the bases. To get more precise and accurate information, we have a special person. Let's all welcome a professional scientist who has a broader idea and research to address hunger. Here is Mr. Carabio to further discuss this issue.
As a scientist in the Philippines, issues like food, nutrition, and disease are something the government is capable of dealing with, and what government organizations and programs can tackle this issue.
In the ongoing quest for solutions to hunger, scientists stand strong, recognizing its widespread impact on communities. Their relentless efforts are dedicated to uncovering sustainable and efficient methods that can elevate food security on a global scale. It's a commitment to creating a world where no one has to go to bed hungry. In the Philippines, we're tackling a trio of challenges: food security, nutrition, and diseases. Some areas are grappling with malnutrition, and our crops are doing a rain dance with the unpredictable whims of natural disasters. In the ring with us are diseases, especially those bodies linked to malnutrition, throwing punches at our communities. It's a tough match, but we're in for the long haul, ready to bob and weave until we come out on top. Ensuring everyone has enough to eat in the Philippines is a tag team effort. Government superheroes like the Department of Agriculture and the National Food Authority are on the front line, battling to secure our food. Meanwhile, champions like the National Nutrition Council and the Department of Health are donning capes, focusing on keeping us healthy through nutrition and preventing the invasion of pesky diseases. It's a dynamic duo, ensuring our plates are full and our well-being is top-notch.
What a wonderful explanation!
There you have it, folks. Thank you, Mr. Carabio.
Coming up next, with the hot and breaking news. Wasted bounty. Despite having enough for 10 billion, significant food loss and unequal distribution persist. Shipping perspective, how paradigm changes reshape the landscape of food security. Beyond borders, civil unrest echoes worldwide as food pride spikes hit the vulnerable. Urbanizations, double-edged swords, opportunities and threat to food security. And IMF insight, biofuel roles in the surge of essential food crops.
We are back here for some hot news. Here we got wasted bounty. Despite having enough for 10 billion, significant food loss and unequal distribution persists.
Mr. Shawson, are you there?
Yes, Mr. Hodgson, let me take the floor. Good day, everyone. Here I am today to report my buzzing news titled Wasted Bounty. Despite having enough for 10 billion, significant food loss and unequal distribution persists as the population continues to grow, presenting an increase in the number of mouths to feed. One of the foremost challenges in attaining food security lies in the need to enhance global food production and effectively navigate the balance in food distribution. More than 800 million men, women, and children don't get enough to eat, despite the fact that more than enough food is produced daily to feed everyone on Earth. Most of the world's hungry live in the developing regions in Asia and sub-Saharan Africa, and many of them are children. Inadequate nutrition kills more than 3 million children under age of 5 every year and is responsible for 45% of all such global deaths worldwide. 1 in 6 kids is underweight. According to experts, there is currently enough food to feed 10 billion people. Unfortunately, a significant portion of it is thrown away as well as being insufficient distributed. The most significant food losses occur in Asia at 5 stages of the process: production, handling and storage, processing and packaging, distribution and market, and consumption. Although over half of all food waste, for 56% happens in the industrialized world, the significance of sustainable agriculture is on the rise, driven by the increasing demands imposed on our agricultural systems due to the growing global population. Common challenges include diseases resulting from food and malnutrition in nearly every society. Yet, the uneven distribution of agriculture also contributes to a range of environmental issues, with food waste standing as just one facet of this broader challenge. That's all, folks. Back to you at the studio, Mr. Hodgson and Ms. Gumere.
Thank you for that wonderful report, Mr. Shawson. We will take it from here.
Don't you go anywhere, folks, since that report is just one of our 5 buzzing news today.
That is right, everyone. So without further ado, let's go in our next report. Miss Hanaya, the stage is yours.
Hello everyone! Hope you're having a great time today. I am Hanaya, reporting to you the shifting perspective, how paradigm changes reshape the landscape of food security. Food security, a term widely employed across various disciplines, addresses critical issues such as hunger, malnourishment, and availability of food at local, national, and global levels. The tangible repercussions of food insecurity manifest vividly through the harsh realities of hunger and malnourishment. Donald accentuated the essence of food security by intertwining it with the accessibility of food, extending its critical connection across the local, national, and global scale. This perspective sheds a more profound light on the intricate web of challenges that must be addressed to safeguard and ensure the sustainability of food security. The 1974 UN World Food Conference forged a defining perspective on food security, articulating its essence as a perpetual guarantee of substantial world food supplies. This strategic definition not only addresses the imperative of meeting growing consumption needs, but also emphasizes the need to navigate and mitigate the inherent challenges posed by the fluctuation in production and prices. Maxwell identifies 3 paradigm shifts that exerted a profound impact on discourse and international agenda surrounding the food security. During the late 1970s to the early 1980s, there was a transformation in discussion about food security. Both academic and policy viewpoints expanded beyond the limited emphasis on food availability and supply. This evolution recognized the significance of elements such as access, utilization, and stability in grappling with the intricate challenges associated with ensuring food security. The second shift in paradigm underscored the crucial role of livelihood security within household, influencing decisions to solve short-term hunger and more comprehensive choices related to sustenance. It brought attention to the Attention to the intricate connection between the ensuring one livelihood and the decision-making processes vital for addressing immediate concern related to hunger. The third paradigm shift signifies a departure from solely focusing on calorie counting in the food security to adopting a more nuanced approach. This transformation involves taking into account not only the quantity of food, but also subjective measures such as preference in accessing food. As stated by Maxwell, it underscored the importance of comprehending food security beyond numerical metric and incorporating qualitative aspect into the assessment. That was a trending hot news for you all. I hope you get the thought. Back to you, anchors.
Yet, another wonderful piece of news brought to us by one of our excellent reporters. Thank you for that, Miss Arubinto.
Exactly, Mr. Hoxton. But again, don't you go anywhere, folks. I hope you are still tuned to us because coming up next is the back-to-back headlines that will be presented by Miss Lima.
Hello there, folks, friends, family, and everybody who is listening and watching our show today. Are you ready for my two-headed pairs of news? Let me start with my first headline, which is Beyond Borders. Civil unrest echoes worldwide and food price spikes hit the vulnerable. In the mid-2000s, global food prices began to climb. The prices of key staples such as wheat, rice, maize, soybean, and edible oils all soared. Civil unrest in the forms of protests and riots in the numerous countries worldwide happened. The impact of food price spikes has been more devastating to those who are at the poverty level. In 2007 to 2008, the global food price crisis pushed 100 million people even further into poverty. And the 2010 to 2011, food prices spike potentially added another 44 million to the ranks of those grappling with poverty and food insecurity. Experts have debated several reasons behind these spikes, and one key factor is ongoing growth of world population. As the global headcount climbs, the demand for food naturally rises along with growing incomes and per capita food consumption. This delicate balance has contributed to the challenges we've seen in the global food market. The surge in global food prices can be traced to a mix of factors on the supply side. Increasing cost of fuel and crucial agricultural especially in developing countries with stagnating agricultural yields contribute to the rise. Natural disasters such as droughts and floods further disrupt production. Government exacerbate the issue with impulsive export bonds during shortages. Additionally, financial speculation in agricultural commodities adds complexity to the market. Together, these factors create a challenging landscape impacting the global food and contributing the volatility in prices. Hold on, everyone. Do you dare take away your minds into our show because that is just half of my report. Without any delay, let's hope on my last headline, which is the urbanization's double-edged sword, opportunities and threats to food security. By mid-century, the world's total population is projected to surpass 9 billion, doubling the demand for food, feed, and fiber according to FAO. The upsurge in demand notably emanates from developing countries in Asia and Africa. Notably, India and China stands out as the fastest growing countries in the Asian region. The mass movement of people from rural to urban areas has also been accompanied by a rapid and ongoing expansions of cities and slums in parts of Asia. And by 2030, urban populations and the number of slums dwellers in Africa and Asia are said to double. I hope you all wouldn't get tired of listening to my long and very informative news that was really up to date. Till next time, folks.
Thank you for undeniably wonderful report, Miss Lima. It may be long, but I am sure that you know that reporting is full of knowledge and exceptionally reported by our reporters.
The last two headlines that will be presented today are going to be presented by our fantastic duo, Mr. Nabor, alongside with Mr. Shoson. Whenever you guys are ready, take the floor.
IMF Insights Biofuels Role in the Surge of Essential Food Crop Consumption. Biofuel production has surged globally, impacting not only energy dynamics, but also raising questions about land use change and access. The evolving landscape prompts concerns particularly regarding how this growth intersects with issues of land access, potentially affecting communities worldwide. The worldwide increase in biofuel production was initiated during 2004 to 2005, driven by the adoption of various policies and incentives by the United States and the European Union aimed at promoting the consumption of biofuels. Biofuels are recognized as crucial for diminishing reliance on fossil fuels in numerous countries worldwide. The production of biofuels, along with the policies endorsing and facilitating it, has become a subject of intense controversy within the framework of global food security. Fuel production continues to reshape our energy future. The critical dialogue surrounding land use, change, and access remains vital. Balancing the benefits of sustainable energy with the imperative of equitable land practices is an ongoing challenge that demands thoughtful consideration and proactive solutions.
Good day to everyone. For the last part of our news report, let me lead you as we dive into the intricate relationship between climate change and food security, or so-called global imperative. Collaboration efforts needed to address the nexus of climate change and food security. Climate change impacts all four dimensions of food security: food availability, accessibility, utilization, and the stability of food system. Agriculture is particularly vulnerable to climate variations and the direct influence of changing agroecological conditions on crop growth affects food production. Sub-Saharan Africa and South Asia, regions with the highest global levels of hunger and malnourishment, are poised to endure the adverse effects of climate change on crop productions. Climate change is expected to impose high costs and yield few benefits for developing countries. Low-income, developing nations often face challenges related to inadequate healthcare infrastructure, and significant portions of the populations may lack access to fundamental necessities like clean drinking water and sanitation. In conclusions, the intricate relationship between climate change and food securities calls for global attention and united efforts. Recognizing the disproportionate impact on vulnerable regions, especially in Sub-Saharan Africa and South Asia, addressing this challenge demands a holistic approach. By promoting sustainable agriculture, fostering international cooperation, and providing targeted support to vulnerable populations, we can collectively work towards mitigating adverse effects on food systems in the face of changing climate. And that is all what we had for today, everyone. Again, this is Emma Nabor, together with my partner Renz Shoson, signing out. Back to you at the studios, Ms. Gomere and Mr. Hoxon.
Thank you once again to every single one of you. This is the Modern Era Dispatch. Elevate your perspective. Your source news for now.